Good evening, good evening. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new live edition of Carolina Panthers Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody's been having a good week so far. It is Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. End of the year's slowly approaching, but hope everybody's been doing good. All right. Week 15, y'all. Week 15 is here. And the Carolina Panthers return home to Bank of America Stadium to take on the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that in franchise history, they haven't really had a lot of luck against. But hopefully, this Sunday will change that. So, got quite an interesting matchup here. A matchup of two 5-8 teams. One in the NFC, one in the AFC. Now, a couple of things before we jump into this matchup. I got to give credit where credit's due. Shout out to our place kicker, Eddie Pinheiro, who won the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Got to give credit where credit's due. Ever since the first Falcons game where Eddie Pinheiro missed those two really game-costing kicks, he has not missed since that game. Got to give credit where credit's due. Good evening, Jeff R. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. But Eddie Pinheiro is your NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. And you know, he is actually third in the league overall. Those two missed field goals in the Atlanta Falcons game are his only two misses of the year. And he currently has a 92.6 percentage. Third in the league overall and second among qualifying kickers. All right, Eddie Pinheiro, you've done the do. You've done the do. You've bounced back, and you've been unstoppable. I got to give credit where credit's due. Eddie Pinheiro, looking extremely strong, making a statement, and pretty much leaving those two big misses behind him. And he hasn't missed since, y'all. He's been perfect. Extra points, field goal attempts, he's been perfect since that first Atlanta game. You know, I got to give credit where credit's due. I thought he was going to be gone after that game, but you know what? Powered through adversity, frustration, and he hasn't missed a single field goal or extra point since that game. You know, I think we gotta give him props. Because we gotta remember that game was, what was it? Week 9? Week 8. Week 8. He hasn't missed since week 8. And it's now week 15. So, shout out to Eddie Pinheiro. I'm proud of you. Way to bounce back. Let's hope it stays that way. But way to bounce back after costing the team that game. Good evening, Tito Z. What's up, champ? We control our own team, or we control our own destiny. Not saying we're going to the Super Bowl, but at least we have a playoff chance of hosting a game. This is true. This is very true. Really, the ball's in our court. The ball's in our court. We have the chance to call our own shot. Now, where there was some good, I got to call out the bad. Because the Panthers also waived defensive tackle Davion Nixon. And not only did they waive him, but they waived him on his birthday. Come on, Carolina Panthers. I mean, I get it, but you waived him on his birthday. That's just messed up. That's messed up. I mean, I get that he was inactive and, they had Henry Anderson, just coming back and everything. But, now the roster's at 52 players. But did y'all have to waive him on his birthday? Like, really? Really? On his birthday? That's jacked up. That's jacked up. I got to keep it real. That's jacked up. Yeah, that's jacked up. Mr. Tepper, what's up with that? What's up with that? Scott Fitterer, what's up with that? Really? You gotta wave the dude on his birthday? Really? Really? Well, I mean, maybe they can get him back on the practice squad or something. I just feel like that's a pretty messed up thing to do, just on his birthday. That's messed up. That's messed up. So just had to get that out of the way. Had to get that out of the way. But man, that's just messed up. Okay. Let's take a look at this matchup. Both teams 5-8. Carolina Panthers at home, Pittsburgh Steelers, the visiting team. And looking at the ESPN matchup predictor, it actually has the Carolina Panthers as the favorite team to win. Wow, that's a first. That's a first. So they got 52.7% chance that the Panthers win, a 46.7% chance the Steelers win, and a 0.6% chance of a tie. Now, the Steelers, interesting situation with their injury report. Right now, they have running back Najee Harris, cornerback Cameron Sutton, defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi, linebacker Miles Jack, and quarterback Kenny Pickett, all listed as questionable. And Mitchell Trubisky, I believe, recently played and didn't do too well. I think he threw 3 picks in the previous game. So Steelers are hurting a little bit. They're hurting a little bit. As far as the current Carolina Panthers injury report, DJ Moore apparently had an MRI done on his ankle. But thankfully, he was able to return to practice as a full participant. He was in uniform and everything. But it looks like they're going to keep an eye on DJ Moore. He's probably not going to be 100%, but he was good enough to practice. So that means something. That definitely means something. The only player that didn't practice was Brandon Smith, and he was in a walking boot. So, dealing with an ankle injury. Taylor Moton and Deontay Foreman didn't practice, but they had rest days. Corey Littleton, Laviska Shenault, Xavier Woods, linebacker Joel Igbunwe. I don't even know if I said that correctly. They were limited. So, and they also weren't in full pads for this practice. But that's the current injury report for the Panthers. So not a whole lot of bad news on the injury side for the Panthers. Like I said, DJ Moore was a full participant. Brandon Smith, he wasn't a walking boot. He didn't practice. But Taylor Moton and Deontay Foreman, they had rest days. So they're fine. They just had rest days. So not quite at full strength, but I think we should be fine. I think we should definitely be fine. Now, with this matchup, as I mentioned, Carolina is 1-6 all time against the Steelers. And the Steelers have a 6-game win streak against us. That's right. We have not beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers in the last 6 meetings. Whew. The only time that the Carolina Panthers have beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers was in 1996 at home when the Panthers clinched the division. That was the last time they beat the Steelers. Y'all, we got to fix that. We got to fix that. We haven't beaten them since 96. Ooh, man. We got to fix that. Tito Z says, we suck against the 3-4 defense. Hopefully, we can scheme against it. Plus, mind you, all teams are looking to stop our run game and force Darnold to throw. If I was a defensive coordinator, that's how I would play it. It's not a bad strategy. That is not a bad strategy at all. But, I mean, that's really the one thing that sticks out to me right now is just, historically, we haven't had a good showing against the Steelers. And, of course, the last time we played the Steelers was when Cam Newton got hurt and the Steelers destroyed us. So, I'm not going to say I'm worried, but that is a stat that sticks out. I'm just saying. I mean, different teams over the years against this Pittsburgh Steelers team, and we haven't been able to beat them since the first time. So, yeah. Hopefully that'll change. Hopefully that will change. Now, let's look at the rankings of the statistical comparisons. Starting with the offense. Total yards per game. Carolina's ranked 30th. Pittsburgh's ranked 26th. Rushing yards per game. Carolina ranked 13th. Pittsburgh ranked 19th. Net passing yards per game. Carolina's ranked 30th. Pittsburgh's ranked 24th. Sacks allowed. Carolina tied for 10th. Pittsburgh tied for 20th. Third down efficiency. Carolina's ranked 30th. Pittsburgh's ranked 16th. Points per game. Carolina's ranked 24th. Pittsburgh's ranked 27th. So I feel like the offenses are kind of almost evenly matched in a way. I feel like it's kind of evenly matched. I mean, there's a few things that stand out, but I feel like both offenses are kind of evenly matched. Kevin McFarland, welcome to the stream. Hello to you. I'm so excited for this game. Our team could really make a massive playoff push. Facts. We've already gotten off to a good start since the Denver victory. So we just got to keep it going. And I can't stress this enough. They literally said, nothing else matters. We win these remaining 4 games, we're in, regardless of what anything else that happens. If Carolina wins their remaining 4 games, they win the division. They make the playoffs, regardless. So, really, Carolina Panthers' destiny is in their hands to call. Our team looks hot, and it does not look fake either. Facts. Let's look at the defense comparisons. Now, defense is a little bit, there's some discrepancies. So, total yards allowed per game. Carolina ranked 16th. Pittsburgh ranked 22nd. Rushing yards allowed per game. Carolina ranked 24th. Pittsburgh ranked 15th. Passing yards allowed per game. Carolina ranked 15th. Pittsburgh ranked 24th. Sacks per game. Carolina ranked 20th. Pittsburgh tied for 24th. Third down efficiency. Carolina is ranked 22nd. Pittsburgh ranked 13th. Takeaways. Carolina tied for 23rd. Pittsburgh tied for 10th. And then points allowed per game. Carolina ranked 13th. Pittsburgh ranked 14th. So Pittsburgh leads and has the better ranking in takeaways, third down efficiency on defense, rushing yards, rushing defense. So those stick out quite a bit. But I feel like overall, this could be more of an evenly matched team or evenly matched matchup than we think. Kevin says, I heard from some source that we just need to win the 2 divisional games. The other teams lose, but don't want to get to that point. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, we've only lost 1 game in our division, so that is a very good possibility, being that we've already beaten each team once. So, and we have 2 teams left that we could sweep. So that's very possible. Because the Lions game could be the one we might skip up on, and it's going to be 36 degrees on the 24th, so cold. Important note, we are getting the safety Woods back. Oh, yeah, Xavier Woods, yes. 5-1 in the defense we could end up at. Tito Z says, that Lions game is the one I'm very worried about because the Lions are not a joke. Yeah, facts. That's going to be a tough game. Definitely a probably, some may say that's the toughest game remaining in our schedule. But looking at this Pittsburgh matchup, I don't know, y'all. It seems like an almost even matchup. I mean, Pittsburgh has the higher ranking in some areas. We have the higher ranking in other areas. I mean, this statistical comparison is close. It's close. Then gotta look at the weapons the Steelers have. I mean, like I said, Najee Harris, he's listed as questionable, and so is Miles Jack. Let's see. Kevin says, but our team just looks powerful on defense, especially J.C. Horn. Yeah, J.C. Horn, who almost had 3 picks in the previous game. Mitch is a bad quarterback, though. Even worse than Sam. Yet, when he was with the Bears, they beat us. So, I'm not going to fully 100% accept that, because last time we went up against Mitchell Trubisky was when he was with the Bears, and the Bears did beat us. Just saying. Let's see. I mean, Najee Harris is their leading rushing attack. So not sure if he'll be 100% for this game. And Kenny Pickett, he's questionable. So, I mean, we're either going to get Kenny Pickett or Mitchell Trubisky. And their stats are pretty even, just about. I mean, Kenny Pickett's been sacked more. Pickett's thrown more interceptions, but they both only thrown 4 touchdowns so far. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Deontay Johnson is their biggest threat at wide receiver. They also got George Pickens as well. Chase Claypool. Their tight end, Pat Freiermuth. So, I mean, they got a little something in the passing game. Although Alex Highsmith, we got to keep an eye out for him. That dude has 10 sacks. He's got 10 sacks this season. And don't forget, they still got TJ Watt as well. But yeah, that Alex Highsmith, that's somebody to look out for. Kevin says, we have motivation coming into this game, though. Does any team really want to test our defense? It is not going to be fun. Our defense has been making strides, but let's not act like we got a top 10 defense, because we don't. We don't have a top 10 defense yet. Not even close. We've given up just as much points in some of these games. Our defense has improved, but we're not a top 10 defense. Let's not kid ourselves. We are not a top 10 defense. Tito Z says both teams have had a carousel of quarterbacks. So this is going to be a defensive struggle on both sides of the ball. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Top 15. Maybe. I say that loosely. Because we still got categories in the rankings that are beyond the 20s. But yeah, top 15, I'd say maybe. Kevin says the Steelers are not the same team from 2014. Not saying they're a joke, but they're not good either. Then why haven't we beaten them since 96 then? Answer me that question. Why haven't we beaten them since 1996 and we're 1-6 against them? Explain that to me then. We need a new middle linebacker. Facts. I got a feeling, I don't know if Corey Littleton will be able to play. I know he did practice on a limited basis, and we know he was out for the previous game. And then Damian Wilson's still kind of iffy, but as far as production, but yeah, like I think Tito Z said it best. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. We also got to keep mind of, what's his face? Minkah Fitzpatrick at safety. He has 4 interceptions. Levi Wallace has 3 interceptions. Cameron Sutton, 2 interceptions. I mean, they got There's a reason why the Steelers are ranked in the top 10 for takeaways. So their defense is no slouch either. The crowd does something to our mindset. Just throwing that up there. The Steelers fans historically travel well. Maybe that has something to do with this. 1-6. I don't know about that. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying that they're a team that everybody should be oohing and eyeing over, but it's a stat that stands out. I mean, we haven't beaten them since 96. That's a long time. That's a very long time. Like I said, that's really the only negative that stands out about this matchup. Is just we haven't been good against them historically, just over the years. That's really the only thing that stands up. But Blitz, let's be honest. The Steelers are not going to win this game. We are the better team. I mean, I would like to believe that. I mean, they have the same record as us. And like I said, Kevin, we've played them 7 times over the years and have only beat them once. 7 times since Panthers have been introduced into the league. And we've only beaten them once. 7 games. 1 time. Don't underestimate that. Super Trebo. Sup, Jason? Hoping Panthers get revenge on the Steelers from Thursday night 2018 when Cam went down. That's when it all started downhill for the Panthers. Yeah, that season, that's definitely what went. That was definitely the season. You are right. And Jeff R. makes a good point. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season since he started coaching. Facts. They still have a great coach. Who has something that our coach still doesn't have, and that's a championship. So, as a matter of fact, let's look up the history. So check this out. I'm gonna just throw this out there. So the only time we've ever beat Pittsburgh was December 22nd of 96. It was a win. Final score 18-14. Look at all the other losses that we've had. The 6 losses in 99, 30-20. In 02, 30-14. In 06, 37-3. In 2010, 27-3. In 2014, 37-19. In 2018, 52-21. All of their wins have been double digits. All of their victories over us have been by double digits. Y'all, we got to fix that this Sunday. We got to fix that this Sunday. We have to. We got to fix that this Sunday. Kevin says, we played them in our bad years then. This year, we are the better team, and our roster, I think, is better. But Steve has this team well coached. I mean, we were doing good the last year that we played them, and then we ran into them and got trounced. Why are the Steelers so good against us? I mean, it's a crazy stat. It's a crazy stat. There's normally not a lot of teams that we've had so much trouble against, but the Steelers are one of them. I mean, and then you got to look at the year spacing. So 99, and then 02, and then 06, then 2010, then 2014, then 2018. That's a decent gap. There's a decent gap between those losses. So, I mean, I think a big advantage is that we're playing this game at home, because we've actually never beaten the Steelers on the road. So that's a blessing in disguise, y'all. This is a home game because we've never beaten the Steelers on the road. We're 0-4 against the Steelers historically on the road. Let's see. Let me get caught up. Oh, Tito Z says, there it is. Because the Steelers are one of the only teams we play against that runs the 3-4 defense, and we don't know how to address it. That's a fair point, actually. Jeff R. says, exactly. Sometimes a team can just have your number. Hopefully we can avoid the loss Sunday. Facts. I mean, it's not too much different from the curse that we had against what's his face? The Falcons. We used to have trouble playing the Falcons on the road, so it's kind of similar. They were great all those years, though. Their roster has got much worse than the previous years. But Kevin, 6 losses. There's no excuse, man. There's no excuse. Look at the gap between each of those years. There's no excuse. And double-digit losses each time? There's no excuse. We haven't had the same roster throughout those gap of years. Like, I'm just saying. Joe Valesco, welcome to the stream. This game we're playing Mitchell Trubisky. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. The roster talent on the Steelers has always been supreme. They've also had good coaching as well. Let's not sleep on the coaching. They also got the coach. They got the coaching. Had the coaching for forever, seems like. Super Trebo says, Steelers and Falcons, Jason. Panthers are only 20-34 against the Falcons. Super Trebo, 20-34 against the Falcons versus 1-6 against the Steelers. Not the same thing. Not the same thing. And yes, they don't have Big Ben anymore. That is true. That is true. Ernest Capu, welcome to the stream. He's predicting 52-21 Panthers. I'm hoping it'll be a win, but I highly doubt we score 52 points. That would be crazy if we scored 52 points. Jeff R. speaks facts, though. If we ever had a good chance of beating Pittsburgh, it's going to be this Sunday. We have to capitalize on our momentum. And I feel like this Sunday, this year, is where they're the most vulnerable because they've struggled this season. Kevin says, my prediction for this game, 24-17 Panthers, close game. Now, looking at their weapons. Now, I can't say that I'm too crazily concerned about their offense. I mean, really the only thing, according to their rankings, that stand out on the offense is they're ranked 16th in third down efficiency. And, they're ranked 19th in rushing yards per game, tied for 20th in sacks allowed. I mean, there's a couple of things, but I can't say that I really see a whole lot of threatening stuff on their offense. Like I said, Najee Harris has been doing a little something this year. 704 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns, but he's questionable. He is questionable. And like I said, Deontay Johnson, 647 yards receiving, but no touchdowns yet. Wow, he hasn't had a touchdown yet. Interesting. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting that Chase Claypool is with the Bears now. He's not even on that team anymore. I don't even know why I mentioned his name. Excuse me. So, I mean, I don't know, y'all. Help me out. Who else do they have on offense that's a threat? I mean, Pat Freiermuth. Well, he's questionable, and he didn't even practice. George Pickens. Done a little something. And let me see, did Najee Harris practice? No, Najee Harris didn't practice. I mean, I don't know. I think our defense should be able to handle them overall. Kevin says their offense is trash. LOL, joking. I mean, they definitely, I wouldn't say that their offense is elite. That's for sure. Will J.C. Horn get a pick six? Possible. He almost had one in the Seattle game. Also, Steve Wilkes told Sam to use his legs to score. That might be a huge factor in this game. Something he's very capable of doing. And they don't have Antonio Brown anymore or Vince McDonald, thankfully. And they don't have Juju Smith-Schuster, so that's another plus. No more Juju. I'm saying that their 2018 roster was better than the one we're playing with this Sunday. No, there's no disputing that. There's definitely no disputing that. No, there's no disputing that. This is just a franchise that has had our number over the years. As Jeff R was saying, this has mainly just been a franchise that's had our number since after 96. That's really what it comes down to. And like I said, Mitchell Trubisky, last time we went up against him, he was playing for the Bears and the Bears won. That's all I can really say about that. But when we last played him, he was on the winning side. Joe Valesco says, CJ Henderson, should we keep him for next year? Ooh, that's tough because he's been a liability, but he has started to make a comeback. He has started to make a comeback a little bit. It's been making a play here and there. He had a pick in the Seattle game. He also had a pick in the Atlanta game we lost. So, I mean, I don't know, Joe Valesco. It really depends, but part of me wants to say it's probably going to be a no. But we'll see how he finishes this season. Super Trebo says, if the Panthers fail to beat Bucks for the division, Jason, do you think Steve Wilkes can still get the job or no? Like I said, it's going to come down to final record. I am not going to make any decision until that final record. But want to make it easier? Win these remaining 4 games. And that'll seal it for me. Kevin says that will end this Sunday. We really will be in the playoffs this year. The way we're playing is great. Both the offense and defense is playing together. Couple of things. Defense definitely has been showing up. I mean, the main thing that defense has to do is just finish strong. We just have to finish strong, which has been a little bit of a struggle this season because defense has given up a lot of points. I mean, they kind of let Seattle back into the game. So let's keep that in mind. We did win, but defense did struggle some as well. Gave up a lot of coverages. So, and that's why I'm saying that we're definitely not a top 10 defense. Top 15 is questionable. It's questionable. I mean, a big part of it that's making it hard to convince me is that we're tied for 23rd in takeaways and 22nd in third down efficiency on defense. Kind of stings a little bit. But like I said, we've been hanging in there, and the defense is starting to get some takeaways here and there. But yeah, if the defense can just finish strong every game, capitalize on takeaways, get the ball on the offense, get off the field, defense will be just fine. Offense, definitely continue to run the ball. Let that be the leading factor. But I want to see Sam Darnold take it up a notch. We need to see Sam Darnold take it up a notch, y'all. I can't stress that enough. 164 yards passing, 120 yards passing. These are not impressive stats. These are not excellent stats. Although he's been taking good care of the ball, and there's been some great decision making. But I cannot say that Sam Darnold has been impressive. Now, this Sunday, maybe this is the game that he breaks loose. But I am concerned about that Pittsburgh Steelers defense, though. Kevin says the Bucs could actually lose to the Bengals and the Cardinals. Bengals, yeah. Cardinals could go either way. I expect multiple picks in this game. Well, Mitch threw 3 in the previous game, so it's very possible. It's funny, when our teams play well, we stifle teams, but when we don't, it's bad. Our run game has been great. And I think that's the big positive from this, Kevin, is that folks have eyes on us now. And I think it's safe to say that the Carolina Panthers are becoming a threat. Slowly but surely, the Carolina Panthers are becoming a threat. They're turning into a threat. I think that's one thing that's catching everybody's attention. They're becoming a threat. And they have an opportunity to finish strong and make the playoffs. So that's the thing. Super Trebo asks, are you nervous these wins are pushing us away from drafting good quarterback, Jason, for the future? Why would I be nervous about winning? No one should ever feel nervous when your team is winning. Draft picks are not guaranteed to always work out. People have to remember that. We could have 1 million high draft picks, but that does not guarantee they all work out, especially in the areas where we're needed the most. I mean, it's happened before. We drafted Jimmy Clausen. How did that work out? We drafted Chris Winkie. How did that work out? Jeff Otah. How did that work out? We drafted, what's his face? I can't think of his name. Vernon Butler. How did that work out? I'm just saying, not every draft pick works out. Matt Leinart, look how that worked out. We got to put stock in what we can do right now, and that's win. That's what we can do right now is win. The draft ain't even here. The season is here right now. So let's focus on right now. Because right now we're able to win. Draft, we don't even know what the draft is going to be until after the end of our season. We don't know what the draft is even going to look like until after all this is over. Kevin says, what is the chance of the Super Bowl? Not even thinking about that. Let's make the playoffs first. Not even thinking Super Bowl. Let's make the playoffs first. Only some quarterbacks work out in the draft. We drafted Luke Kuechly. How did that work out? It's not like Luke Kuechly did any. Wow. That was quite a transition. But and if anything, it's like I said before, folks say draft. What about our cap space dilemma? What about our cap space dilemma? We still got to fix that because we're going to be over the cap. We still got to fix that. So that's another issue among other things. Look no further for examples. We had 2 top draft pick quarterbacks on our team, Darnold and Baker. Yep. Draft picks definitely aren't guaranteed. Facts. Some players are great, but others don't work out well. And sometimes we just never know. Who would have thought a 6th-round draft pick would go on to win 7 championships? Who would have thought that? I know I wouldn't have initially thought that. That's for sure. Shoot. There you go, Kevin. Tom Brady. There you go. I also got to point this out. Did anybody see Bradley Bozeman mic'd up? Did anybody see the clip of that? Yo, we better re-sign Bradley Bozeman. Dude, Bradley Bozeman, it has emerged. I might be capping, but Bradley Bozeman has emerged as the leader of this offensive line. Y'all believe that? I think Bradley Bozeman has emerged as the leader of this offensive line. That dude is on fire. You see him on the sideline taking other players' helmets and hitting himself. Oh, my goodness gracious. Whoo, man. That is so funny. Yes, he's an amazing team player and center. Facts. Tito Z says, to help the cap, keep our core players and pay them franchise the rest and draft down in the picks. Fair point. Jeff R says, last year's draft, Mr. Irreverent is killing it for the 49ers. So like Blitz said, let's just fine-tune what we have and go from there. Indeed. Oh, Austin Corbett as well. Yes. Was Baker Mayfield hitting himself too? If he was, it was without a helmet. That's for sure. But, and not only that, y'all, there's a lot of folks. There's a good handful of folks that have emerged from our team that are on their way to be stars. Look at Jeremy Chin. Look at Frankie Louvu. Shaq is even trying to make a comeback, trying to show he can still make an impact. I know this is a name that's not mentioned a lot, but Marquise Haynes, senior? Or it might be junior. But Marquise Haynes, that's a name that I don't hear a lot. That dude's been making an impact. J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn is having a heck of a sophomore year. J.C. Horn is in what? The top 5 shutdown corners of the season? Shoot. I love you, James Bradbury, but I don't miss you because we got J.C. Horn. His team is way more happy now. It was very sad for a while there. Facts. Super Trebo says, do you think Matt Rule will ever consider leaving Nebraska and coming back to the Panthers? After the stuff he said, I don't know why he would want to come back, personally. And if he does try to come back, I'd say deflected. J.C. Horn will be in a all-pro player. Might be premature, but we're great. I mean, he's making strides. He's making strides. Honestly, I think there has to be some consideration for him to make the Pro Bowl. I think there's got to be some consideration. I actually like Justin Burris for a little. Yeah. Score prediction for this game. This is tough because I don't want to get too wild with the prediction. I don't want to get too wild. I'm going to say oh, man. (21-10) Panthers. I think we should be good enough to score at least 3 touchdowns. I think we could score 3 touchdowns at least. Because, in all honesty, I think it's going to come down to which offense can shine over the other. And if we pound the rock, the pigskin, and grind away with our run game and get positive yardage, because that was a big part of how we had up to 40 minutes in time of possession. And that's something to note. When we've won the time of possession battle, we've won the game. Check the stats. When we've had the higher time of possession this season, we've won. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely believe this should be a victory. Like I said, when it gets to the Lions game, that's going to be a little more difficult to call. But I think Carolina should have this. I think Carolina should have this. Tito Z says 23-14 Panthers. Okay, a little closer. What do you think our chance at the playoffs is for real? Well, after beating the Seattle Seahawks in the toughest place to play, I originally said 25%. I will bump that up to 40%. I'll bump that up to 40%. Now, if we win this game and the Lions game, then that'll be a huge boost. But we got to keep in mind we still got those two remaining division games at the end of the season. Those are going to for big, and we got to definitely make sure we win those games. We still don't want to sleep on division games. Joe Valesco says 31-7 Panthers. Okay, it could be a mollywhopping. Kevin says an 80% chance. Ooh, that's bold. That's bold. I know we're going to beat the Bucks and the Saints for sure. That is our overall plan for the team, right? I'll take it down to 60%. Okay, that's a little more manageable. But let me check to see who the Bucks have left again. Bengals, Cardinals, Panthers, Falcons. I mean, Bengals could be a loss. Cardinals have struggled, and they just lost Kyler Murray for the season. So, Bengals, Cardinals, that could go either way. Bucks, Falcons. Well, we got to remember the Bucks beat the Falcons the first time. So, the Bucks could win 2 out of those 4 games. At least they could win 2 out of those 4 games. I don't think they'll go on a 5-game losing streak. I definitely don't see that happening. I don't see them going on a 5-game losing streak. It's just Brian Burns. Said you will see what the story is when we are done. The Bucks have been awful though. Okay. And we haven't? I mean, it's not like we've been excellent all season though, Kevin. I mean, those losses we got still count as well. Jeff R says, Blitz, you just said something that made me think. Imagine us losing our last 2 games to the Saints and the Bucks. That would be devastating. Yeah, that would pretty much end the season. Bearing any sort of craziness that happens to the other teams in the games before that, that would pretty much end our season. So that would be bad. That would be really bad. Let's see who the Saints have left to play. Because we still got to play the Saints and the Bucks. We don't play the Falcons again. We've already split with them. The Saints got to play the Falcons, Browns, Eagles, Panthers. I don't see them beating the Eagles, and I'm pretty sure we should be able to beat the Saints. The Browns and Falcons, I mean, they've already beaten the Falcons once in a very close game. Very close game. So I could see the Saints probably losing at least 2, maybe 3 games. The Browns might shock them, but I guess it depends on how Mr. Deshaun Watson does. And the Saints, I believe, are still riding Andy Dalton. And the Falcons, they've switched to Desmond Ridder. The Falcons still have the Saints, Ravens, Cardinals, Bucks. But see, the Ravens, I don't know if Lamar Jackson will be back by that time. But man, it's way too close. It's really going to go down the stretch. Kevin says, I feel like we are the best in the division. Every other team is getting worse and we're getting better, right? I mean, we've definitely shown that we are growing to be a threat. Definitely the Carolina Panthers have gotten other teams' attention. That's for sure. They've gotten other folks' attention. If they haven't, then they are taking us for granted, and that's going to make it even more embarrassing when Carolina wins these 4 straight games. But the main thing it comes down to, Carolina Panthers need to worry about their destiny. Because it's like they said, the Bucks could win their other games. The Falcons could win their other games. The Saints could win their other games. But if we win our 4 remaining games, we're in. No questions asked. We win our 4 remaining games, we're in. And we win the division. The Panthers' destiny is literally in their hands to decide. They're in the driver's seat. It's the best December football since 2017, which means a lot. Oh, got quite a bit to look forward to, that's for sure. Now we got to take it. We got to take it one game at a time. But if Carolina wins these last 4 games, we are set. No questions asked. That's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. Steve Wilks. Steve Wilks has been going to work. Has been doing some things for this team. Steve Wilks, more and more each week, is proving why he deserves to be a head coach full time. Steve Wilks is putting himself into a role of a commander. And you know something? I'll say this. David Tepper said if he's been doing a good job, he'll consider hiring him. I don't know, y'all. I'd have to say. So far, Steve Wilks has been doing a good job. I'll say that. So far, Steve Wilks has been doing a good job. The Charlotte native, so far, has been doing a good job. The playoffs are within reach. Facts. Then we will win our first playoff game. The Cowboys typically choke. Woo! I don't know. Last time we played the Cowboys, we got trounced. I mean, Sam Darnold did get a few touchdowns, but we got trounced. Steve Wilkes is a motivator. We are going to protect the bank this Sunday. Oh, he definitely stressed that. Protect the bank at all costs. Protect home at all costs. He meant what he said, dang it. He meant what he said. But I really feel like this could be 2014 all over again. This could indeed be 2014 all over again. So a couple of things that really, I believe, needs to happen for this to really work out. So on offense, running game has to continue to be a success. Use that three-headed monster. Foreman, Hubbard, Blackshear. Use that three-headed monster. Don't hesitate to use that three-headed monster. Sammy D, Sam Darnold. You've been protecting the ball. You haven't been making any turnovers. You've been making some good decisions. And actually, you've been making some killer throws, too, especially in that Denver game. Sammy D, can you give me more? Can you give me more? 164 yards passing, 120 yards passing. Can you give me more? Can we get it into the 200s? Can we get a little more? Also, let's answer that challenge. Open up the run, but then let's answer that challenge of a passing attack. We already know Sam Darnold has shown that he can throw the ball deep. Terrace Marshall Jr. has made an insanely crazy catch. Let's test our wide receivers. Open up the run, and let's test our wide receivers. Kevin says, I'm proud of this team overall from how crazy this season was. Whoever thought we would have a chance. Sam Darnold is such a cool guy in the press conference. He seems a lot more calm overall. Well, not only that, I will say that he has really been embracing this offensive line. I mean, when you got Sam Darnold in a post game saying when you have an offensive line and a running game that's been so successful, makes my job as a quarterback easier. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And Coach Steve Wilkes, he even said it himself. The offensive line is the strength of our team. The strength of our team, y'all. When was the last time anybody put strength of our team, offensive line, and the Carolina Panthers in the same sentence? It's been a while. It's been a while. The whole team seems to be in better spirits, which is why they are playing better, which generally happens. The fact is nobody wanted to play for Matt Rule. Definitely seems that way. 2015. Yeah. Indeed. So it's been a while. It has been a while. And the crazy thing about it This is a team that's so used to mixing up multiple different combinations of an offensive line. And this year, we've only done 2 switches. Mainly was because Pat Elflein got hurt and out for the season. Can you believe that? It's crazy. Not to mention, Darnold has played every snap with this offensive line since he started this season. Every snap. I don't know, y'all. Maybe this is all panning out to be true about Sam Darnold. Maybe he really excels, or eventually will excel behind a formidable offensive line. Maybe this is starting to become a fact, y'all. Maybe 2017. We had the most transitions last year. Stability helps players out. Facts, facts, facts. Shout out to Johnny Heckler. Might be the heart of our team. And quite a punter, too. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I got to give Eddie Pinheiro his credit. Since week 8, he hasn't missed a kick. And he won this week's NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Has Tom Brady ever had a bad offensive line? Not saying he's not good without one, but he plays better. You're right. You're definitely right. I agree. But yeah, y'all, the ball is in the hands of the Carolina Panthers. We know what we got to do. We know what we got to do. They just got to execute, stick to the game plan. We can win these final 4 games and lock in the playoffs. We may not get a bye, but we'll at least have a home game. And then the whole dynamic changes. So, got to go out here and get it done. Just got to go out here and get it done. I know some folks may think this is possibly a trap game. I sure hope not. But I really feel like we should have this in the bag. I think we should have this in the bag. Kevin says, our players also seem to be playing more serious and focusing on fine details more. Yeah, definitely true. And, even some folks are emerging as well. Like I said, I felt like Keith Taylor Jr. did a great job. Miles Hartsfield almost had a pick. J.C. Horn almost had 3 picks in the Seattle game. C.J. Henderson is starting to make a comeback. So, and like I said, we got a 3-headed monster in our running game. Terrace Marshall Jr. is continuing to impress. So, there's a lot of eyes to keep on. There's a lot of eyes to keep an eye out on. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I definitely look forward to this. We got a chance to beat the Steelers, something we hadn't done since '96. So we got to get it done. Like, they look like the lions out there, not the kitty cats. I see what you did there. TOZ says he doesn't see this as a trap game. This is a go 50-50 chance game. Best defense wins, in my opinion. That's fair. That's definitely fair. That's fair. Let's see. But yeah, hopefully everything is okay with DJ Moore's ankle. And he'll be good to go come game time. But definitely like what our team's been doing. Like I said, I wasn't a fan of them waving Davion Nixon on his birthday. That's just messed up. That's messed up. But aside from that, I think we got a good chance to win this game. We gotta go in. We gotta go in. We gotta go hard. We gotta be aggressive. I think we can do this. Definitely think we can do this. The Panthers media team is a lot better with Wilks. Definitely a lot more spotlight on Steve Wilks. That's for sure. Which, of course, isn't a bad thing. But yeah, y'all. And not to mention, ever since Sam Darnold started, he's only been sacked twice. Only been sacked twice so far. Only been sacked twice. And both of those sacks were in the Seattle game, because he didn't get sacked once in the Denver game. But I am kind of bummed that DJ Moore probably won't get the 1,000 yards receiving this season. He's at 605, so I don't think he's going to make it, but hopefully he gets close. Hopefully he gets close. But I don't think he's going to make it. Hopefully we can get Deontay Foreman some more touchdowns. But Deontay Foreman could be on his way to 1,000 yards rushing. He's got 637 yards rushing, so he could get it. He could still get it. Kevin says, unless he has a 300-yard game. Well, hopefully he'll get showcased in this game. Hopefully he gets showcased in this game and can, maybe get 150, maybe 175. But if anything, I would love to see Sam Darnold blow up and get like 250 or 300 yards passing. I think that would really be good. But I think when it comes down to it, we stick to the game plan, we should be fine. Brian Burns still leading the charge with 10 and a half sacks. Frankie Louvu has 5 sacks. Marquise Haynes Sr., 4 sacks. We got to call that name a lot more. 400 yards passing and 5 touchdowns for Sam Darnold. Would be crazy. That would be a a big record, a career record for him in a game. But even if he were to end up with another less than 200-yard passing game, if there's no turnovers, he did his job. He did his job. And so far, he's done his job for 2 straight games. But before I go, I'll say this. Carolina Panthers, as I said before, we're looking like a threat right now. We're looking like a threat. And we got a chance to break that Steelers streak of 6 straight victories over us. Let's break that streak this Sunday, y'all. Let's break it. We can do this. Y'all can do this. Riding a 2-game win streak, let's make it 3. Let's shut down the Steel City. Yeah, folks can say the NFC South looks ugly, but there's got to be a division champ, just like the other divisions. Keep pounding. Let's go out here and get this victory. Let's get everybody healed up these last couple of days. Let's go out here and get this victory. I want another Victory Monday. I want to thank everybody for coming out and joining me in the chat. But yeah. What was my score? Oh, yeah, 21-10. 21-10, Panthers. I think we'll score 3 touchdowns. Could end up being one of those where the Steelers score the touchdown first and then we just mollywop them and then they get a garbage field goal. But I think we should still get the victory. But anyways, for those that are catching this later, let me know what your thoughts are, what your score predictions are. Be safe and have a great day, champ. Holler after the game. Yes, of course, Tito Z, I will, and you do the same. You do the same. Everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of the above. Hit that notification bell while you're at it. Keep pounding. We're going to get through this. Let's get excited. Let's get pumped. And let's cheer on our Carolina Panthers to get a big win this Sunday over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's end that win streak of theirs. Let's end it. Let's stomp the Steel City into the ground and give Mike Tomlin something to remember. For another Carolina Panthers talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube, I'm your host, Jason Ingram. Everybody have a blessed evening, and I'll see y'all in the next stream, which will probably be Soul Hackers 2. Love y'all.